Hi there, my name's Tom March, and this is a video introduction to a WebQuest called The Past is Present. So this is part of the series of quick and dirty WebQuest tips and professional learning, and I'm going through a series of different WebQuest as examples. So this one is a little bit different. I've had a long-standing interest in African American or Black history, and taking a close look and helping students get beyond sort of the superficial aspects. And I've done many WebQuests using the basic WebQuest kind of layout and template. But I decided with this, a WebQuest I just completed a month or so ago, so I decided to use Google Slides and Docs as a way to provide great delivery of videos and scaffolded pages for students. So the slides are here and they're driven by the teacher and can be shared to the students. And like all WebQuests, we start with a great introduction. Now, what makes this WebQuest particularly special and what's great about what's available now is besides fantastic videos on a range of topics related to this, there are also interactive maps for every single instance. So the students get both the compelling video aspect, which is engaging, gets them quickly into what the issues are, and then also can specifically look for how this could be evident in their own areas where they live. So just as an example, the video here from the route.
Are you looking for a new neighborhood to live in? Then come on down to Redlining Realty, sanctioned by the U.S. government. There's depressed infrastructure, underfunded schools, no white people. They're all in the suburbs. Heck,
So you get how that's going. So really vibrant, entertaining, engaging way to get students started. So then we want to focus on what we're looking at here. And to do that, and to link to the usual sort of Black history kinds of things, of course, students have all seen the I Have a Dream speech, and that's great, fantastic. But there's a line that before he says, I have a dream the first time, he says, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, and that's often ignored. We often flip to, I have a dream, and then sort of what we can use as aspirational, inspirational imagery, but sometimes forgetting the real hard work that's there. And I guess that's sort of the undercurrent of this, is that there's a lot of work to be done. So after that initial piece, the students will brainstorm and will focus on a main question. So you can see that these are still the elements of a WebQuest. How does a historical treatment of Black Americans continue to negatively impact the community today? And what can be done to achieve real equality? And as I said, particularly in the student's own area, geographical area where they live in their cities, in their towns, in their suburbs. Before we go forward, all students need to have some background information here. And so that's where we always give some help. And this is for focusing on Jim Crow. And a foundation of Jim Crow allows much of what follows to be better understood. Here's just a little screenshot of the Google documents that are used to support that background element. Now, you know that once we've had background, we have students divide and look at the topic in different perspectives or from different issues. So here we have introductory slides on all the topics and the student guides on all the topics. So these are the Google Docs and these are the Google Slides. The key videos that are there can be shown by the teacher like this in class and then go to the student guide, but also within the student guide itself, as we see here, we can go into, and the students can use that document, watch the video, and then follow through on a couple extra links to give additional information, and then answering some questions from the basic 5 W's and H. Then comes that powerful thing I mentioned about the mapping. And this is just one example. So this is a map of inequality and the redlining that took place, because that's the topic of this one element. So I grew up in Milwaukee, and I can go there and I can take a look at that. So these maps were always available, right? But now what this tool has done is allowed us to zoom in on specific areas. So I can look at where I might have grown up and see where was redlined. And growing up in Milwaukee, I know these areas very much were the Black areas and the poor areas. So that kind of specificity and then focusing in on an argument And the use of the thesis builder to get students to generate their own thesis statement is all part of that individual aspect related to each of the topics, right? And there are the topics again. So great videos, interactive maps, thesis builder, interactive thesis and outline generating tool for all of these areas. And then we get to a group process that takes that thesis into a read around. There's an analysis grid. So again, we're scaffolding student thinking in that analysis and helping them do the hard argumentation, really deciding what they believe in and comparing that to what other people in their team came up with. So given all of that, we then like to have the students both complete their individual response, so it's not just relying on the group's production, and then also branch off into real-world feedback. And this is where we leave it open-ended for the teachers to choose and the students to choose what they'd like, but there's some brainstorming ideas there that go from very simple things to more complex. So there you go. That's a quick introduction to The Past is Present, a WebQuest for Black History. And if you're interested, please comment on this and subscribe to the channel to keep learning more about quick and dirty professional learning on WebQuest. Thanks very much. Hope you have a great day.